Just prior to Cohen Brown's implementation of the behavioral embedding process, the sales and service revenues of Security Pacific National Bank's Wealth Management Division, which we called Financial Management and Trust Services, were basically flat in the water, and our customer satisfaction was very unimpressive. So I hired Cohen Brown to come in and teach the sales and service process. In the first year after we implemented Cohen Brown, revenues doubled. In the second year, revenues quadrupled, which was phenomenal. And then in the third year, we more than doubled our revenues, again, off a much higher base. But the key thing was that the people of that organization suddenly came to life. They felt so much better about themselves. They were so much better at their jobs, not just service and sales, but everything about what they were doing. Just enriched their whole approach and their whole attitude. And the relationships with clients were much deeper as a result of that. And most importantly, we were able to stop the clients from defecting the business. And we did that as a result of customer focus and Cohen Brown's process of service in addition to sales. It was just unbelievable. And so during each of the 5+ years of Cohen Brown implementation, we wondered whether year-to-year sustained peak performance could be maintained. Well, obviously it was.
In Europe, I found great similarities between the resistance to selling in wealth management and their own resistance to selling. And as I began to try out the techniques in retail that I used in wealth management in Europe, they worked. They worked beautifully. They adapted things, they tweaked things, but the point is, it worked. Other clients in North America and throughout Australia also enabled us to do the things that we wanted to do.
We've increased our referrals by 1,000 a week in Australia. In our small state, South Australia, where we have a reasonably small workforce of around 500, 6 weeks after implementation, the staff between them had made 511 prime referrals and booked over $100 million of new business. And in Queensland, where we've got a couple of thousand staff, we had 2,200 prime referrals, and we've been able to identify and book around $760 million of new business, and also the one in Western Australia in excess of $1 billion also from the front line. We've seen over the period of year on year our highest ever sales in the history of the National Australia Bank.
One of the advantages of the Cohen Brown program is the fact that it works. I mean, it really delivers numbers to the bottom line.
Our growth, which has been at twice the market for the last 10 years, is in no small way due to the fact that we've used this process. But more importantly, from our perspective, is the results are actually continuing to grow.
I hesitate to tell you how well we did because I don't want everyone to know. But we had results that were 200% and 300% more than we were accustomed to.
We actually started our partnership with Cohen Brown, let's see, it's going on our 5th year, and it's been an outstanding partnership. We've actually tripled our sales results since we entered the partnership with Cohen Brown.
We continued to ramp up results for several years and got to where we were running at about quadruple the results that we had prior to implementing Cohen Brown.
Those clients enabled me to do the things we've always wanted to do everywhere. How did we do it? Breakthrough Behavioral Embedding, BBE.
And that brings us to the Breakthrough Behavioral Embedding conceptual model, which is the pyramid categorizer for all the tools found in the BBE toolbox. BBE falls into 5 distinct categories: leadership actions, process, people, technology, and the overarching blueprint capstone. Without their foundational cornerstones, the Egyptian pyramids would not have had the strength and the endurance to have survived the millennia. So here's the analogy. Without senior management support acting as the foundational cornerstones for the entire BBE implementation process, much like the pyramids, BBE most certainly will lose its strength and endurance and perhaps crumble.
we signed our first contract with Cohen Brown, and Marty Cohen came to see me. And I thought this was just going to be, oh, great to have you here. We're happy to have you signed up. He comes into my office and he says, you know, John, I don't think Cohen Brown's going to work in your business. And I was shocked. I said, what do you mean? He says, you haven't been through the program. And if you don't go through the program, you're not going to believe in the program. And he said, your executive staff has not gone through the program, and if they don't go through it, they're not going to believe it. And if we just put it in to the branches, it won't work. So he sort of made me mad, and I said, okay, we're going to do it. And we were all blown away by how simple it was and how there was a process that did work.
The value of Cohen Brown, like any sales program, is that you have to get senior management from the top. You've got to be involved. It's not a magical program where it just comes in and you just watch some tapes and that's the end of it. So the value of Cohen Brown to me was that we had all of our senior management go through it and we practice it, we live it every day.
Now, process. The breakthrough behavioral embedding process contains all of the tools designed to empower and to enable new options for increased sales and service revenue lift while sustaining peak performance through increased results.
The Cohen Brown process was practical. It could be implemented with relative ease, and it was consistent with our conceptual focus on trying to change results by changing behaviors and with association changing people's beliefs. It really did work, we thought, and now several years later I would say it really does work.
With Cohen Brown, behavioral change occurs, and it occurs permanently if the company using the process uses the discipline, uses the tools that are in place. If you do that, you get better sales, and you get them permanently.
A process, no matter how evolved, sophisticated, and relevant, will not become implemented with any form of profitable executional excellence without people. After all, it is people who design and implement processes, and it's the quality of their performance that determines the correct use and application of those processes. Therefore, without people, a great process simply won't survive.
When I became a leader, I learned that Cohen Brown also helped me because it gave me a toolbox of things that I could use to help influence others in terms of improving results through a team that I was managing.
The Cohen Brown process can have a benefit for an individual in their daily life because it deals with issues like personal discipline, issues like stretching and achieving more, of having higher expectations for yourself, of setting goals that you might not otherwise have set if you hadn't thought about yourself as a higher level performer.
As people create processes, people also create the technology to implement those processes. In each millennium, technology advances the progress of corporate development and related productivity. Through technology, we accelerate our growth, improve the quality of our lifestyle, and enhance our competitive edge over those who haven't yet discovered the proper use and application of the technologies. If designed correctly, technology will always take us to the next level, and the next, and the next. Our e-learning solution is entitled Breakthrough Performance Technologies, otherwise known as BPT. BPT is a revolutionary combination of skills enhancement and technology simplification tools designed to sustain peak performance through increased breakthrough behavioral embedding results.
What are breakthrough performance technologies? They are web-based, out-of-the-box breakthrough solutions. For those of you who are already thinking, we don't allow any web in our branches, it can be done through CD-ROM. This is not about technology, this is about results. This is about breakthrough behavioral embedding. What's key about it? It cracks the code of knowledge transfer into marketplace behaviors. Here's the big one. We got rid of multiple choice, and we got rid of true-false, which does not teach people how to speak. This is all verbal. That's the difference.
The capstone and the ultimate key to BBE success is the overarching blueprint. Finally, when going forward with the preparation of your custom-tailored blueprint, The immensely flexible and cost-effective module menu tool is your guide for mixing and matching any and all Cohen Brown modules versus being required to license an entire program. Remember that your results consultant is your Cohen Brown BBE specialist, and as such will help you transform your module menu into a blueprint custom tailored to achieve your targeted performance objectives. To that end, we believe the future is now.